Hello. I thought I'll share a little bit about something that may not be so obvious in the videos that I make, in the messages that I may be sending on Instagram and thing. I thought I'll begin to make something more obvious, which may not be being seen immediately. Well, for one, this place around me, or this is kind of my achievement, in the sense that it may not seem like amounting much, but this has taken a long time for me to come to. And what is significant about it is, this is a consequence of several years of learning how to do the right thing, of doing the right thing, and in doing what needs to be done, in setting things right. So what I mean by that is, we all are differently placed in life. We come to be born in different circumstances at different times to the parents we are born, and parents are of different kinds. No two sets of parents are the same. I mean, we may compare and contrast. We may compare and contrast parents, we may compare and contrast families, circumstances where people are born, places where people are born, countries where people are born. We are each placed differently. And wherever we are born, from there begins our journey of life. And no matter how the circumstances are, we find a way to move through life, to find our pace, to find our rhythms, to find our interactions that is safe and healthy, and by which we find a way to move through life. Such was also how I came to be. And there were different kinds of circumstances. And then there is the choices that is available to be made. Now, you can either say, I have this in life, and be mournful about it and lament a lot, or we can say, given that things are like this, what can I do to make things better? Yeah. So that's a choice that we have. Making the choice of how would you like your life to be? What do you do with what you have? And it may be difficult, but there are always some things. We can always make the choice of doing the right thing. It may be difficult, but there would be, in everything we do, there would be some element of doing the right thing. And over a period of time, you begin to develop a muscle for doing the right thing. Anything that it's like a muscle is like any other muscle. You do something repeatedly, like say your biceps, you're exercising that every day, you begin to develop that muscle. Similarly, your will is a muscle. When you will something and you regularly, constantly keep exercising your will to do something, then you're developing a certain muscle within you to be able to sustain something. Similarly, you can develop a muscle to do the right thing. And more you focus on doing the right thing, you somehow find a way to recognize what's the right thing. And then you're beginning to develop a certain skill about recognizing what was the right thing, and then you start developing a muscle to do the right thing. Even when things may be challenging, you're oriented to it. And doing the right thing has a certain quality to it. It begins to invite a certain alignment from the environment, a certain alignment of those things that are right. And then the right thing starts falling into place. And no matter where you begin, where your life is, once doing the right thing has a certain energy to it. If it is not conducive to life, yeah, things get awry. But when it is conducive to life, it is most likely doing some bits of the right thing. And then you begin to start walking the path of truth. And now this seems spiritual. This may even seem very esoteric. But if you're talking about certain timeless values that fall into place once you develop the muscle to do the right thing. And timeless values has a certain quality to it. Now, these timeless values, they're called timeless values because they've sustained the test of time. And what that means is, through different kinds of trials and tribulations, these values have somehow stood it and proven time and time again to be those things that work. For example, peace always works. Yeah, say the truth. Yeah, everybody likes truth, but it takes something to do that all the time. Yeah, and something becomes possible when you're doing that. Kindness. Yeah, when you're being kind, there is something good that happens, that follows. Similarly, there are many other timeless values. Our parents, teachers, they keep talking about it. These are the desirable traits. They're even called virtues. But somehow, when you start developing the ability to do the right thing, I have noticed from experience that these timeless values somehow begin to start showing up. They begin to be part and parcel of how you do things, how you move through life. And then they engender, they bring about, they invite these different timeless values into the flow of things, into how things come about. And then things start getting setting right. What I mean by that is things start getting right. If things were not working as well as it should be, they start becoming right. And in a way that works for everybody. Because if it is not working for somebody, then that's not the right thing. Because it's not like it works for somebody and it doesn't work for somebody else. So you begin to start developing a certain intelligence, a certain intuitiveness, a certain thing as you start focusing on doing the right thing. You begin to see many facets to it. So this place that I live in came to be from me having moved through life in this way for a few years. This may not seem to amount much, but being here reminds me of what becomes possible and also gives me reason to continue doing it. If ever I feel I be in doubt, when things get tough, all I have to do is look around this, and then I know I came here, and however things have been, me coming here is a miracle in itself. So, what is it that gives you reason to continue doing something that is virtuous, that gives you a real solid reason to following your heart, to following your deepest intelligence, your deepest intuition, your deepest sense of this is right, and hold on to it. There may be something a lot more stronger and a lot more life affirming in that deep sense of peace, a deep sense of joy that may be accompanying the sense that this is right. Okay? Eventually, you learn to start following your heart. And most likely, most often than not, your heart and your soul is quite aligned, very close there. So I invite you to inquire into this and see what becomes possible for you and your life and for people around you. But let's start with you. Yeah. Thank you for listening.